Hello class, let me welcome you back to the second part of the lesson that we started last time. The name of the lesson is Sources of History, and we are going to do part 2 of Sources of History. And let me introduce myself again to you. My name is Shraddha Teacher, and I will be teaching you English and Social Studies this year through the virtual class format. Now children, last time when we talked about sources of history, we talked about the various written sources of history, where we talked about the newspapers, etc. Now we have just very limited time. We have just 15 minutes to talk about the material as well as the oral and audiovisual sources of history. So we will not go back and look too much into what we did last time. Okay. So without wasting much time, let us start talking about the material sources of history. Now children, time and again I've told you that we have been learning about the sources of history since we were in the 6th standard. So we all know that the sources of history, the major division of the sources of history, that is the oral sources, material sources and written sources, the headings remain the same, but the kind or the type or the nature of the source keeps on changing along with the changing times. So now when we talk about coins as a source of history, let me just try to remind you what we have learned about coins in the previous lessons or in the previous years. So these are coins which are ancient in nature. Alright, see even these are coins of the Gupta dynasty. So they are very, very ancient coins. Now when we talk about coins as a source of history in today's times, see we will talk about the coins which we have seen recently. For example, see, these are some coins which you can still find today in circulation somewhere or the other, but we still study them as sources of history because look at the date on which this coin has been, you can say, minted. It is in the year 1970. All right, so that is almost 50 years ago. So this is a very, very important source of history for us. Okay, so like I told you, some of these coins you will be able to see even today in people's pockets. Now, these are the coins of today. Alright, but still these are also sources of history because these were being found yesterday and day before yesterday also. Alright, so these are all the coins which can be considered as sources of history. So when we talk about coins in each, you can say, period of history, we have learned that coins are a very, very important source to understand the history of those times. Okay, now let us talk about these coins as against the ancient coins. Now in these coins, you will see that these coins are a little bit embossed. That is, if you touch the surface of the coin, you might be able to feel certain things. Now, why is that so? Now, these coins have been so designed that even the differently abled people are able to deal better with these kind of coins. Okay, so these are the modern sources of history, that is, the coins of today. Now, where are these coins actually made, children? So, the process of making the coins is called as minting of the coins. Okay. Now, these coins are minted in government mints. So, it is not that anyone like you and me can make these coins at home. No. All right. The government has allowed just 4, you can say, institutions in the country to mint these coins. All right. Now these places are in Mumbai, Kolkata, Hyderabad and Noida. So these are the 4 government mints in our country which are responsible for production of these coins. Now the image that you can see on your screen, children, is the mint in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Okay, now I'll show you an image of one more mint. So see here, this is the Indian government mint at Hyderabad in Telangana. Okay, now there is a small history also given along with the picture here. So it was established in 1803 and it was actually supposed to serve the Nizam of Hyderabad. Okay, so he established or he set up this particular mint in order to provide coins for his economy, and this is part of the Indian government setup today. So you can see the big board over there, Indian government mint, and in Hindi it is written Bharat Sarkar Taksal. Okay, and below that it is written a unit of SPMCIL. So what is SPMCIL? It is the Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India Limited. Okay, so this is about a very, very important material source of history, modern history that we are studying about today, and that is the mints, or the, you can say, coins. Okay. Now let us come to one more important kind of, you can say, sources of history, that is museums. Now, what do you get to see in museums? You get to see these kind of ancient artifacts. All right, these kind of things which we hardly use today, these kind of things were used by people in the ancient times. All right, we can see all these kind of things in the museum. Along with that, you will be able to see these kind of sculptures. Sculptures means kind of idols, okay, which people have made. You will also be able to see weapons used by the kings or by the different kind of rulers along the different times. So museums also are very important part of material sources of history, because from museums you get to learn and study about so many different materials which are an evidence of history. Okay, now let me show you a scene from inside a museum. Before that, see, this is one of the very famous museums in India, that is a National Museum. Okay, in India there are many national museums. I'll be showing you the names soon, but this is a National Museum at New Delhi. Okay, so see here, this is a scene from inside a museum, and you can see people are walking around and observing also. Okay, now whenever you visit a museum, children, you should always remember that you should have someone to guide you. All right, now you may go on many excursions or picnics. So when you go to a museum is not just for entertainment purpose. When you go to a museum, you need to observe things, you need to understand things. Okay, so if you have someone to guide you, it is very good. Or else you will see in museums they have these big boards on which they give information about the artifacts that are displayed there. So remember, whenever you go to a museum, take a paper, take a pen along with you, and be very observant and try to notice what is written on the, you can say, information charts, and try to take down notes as well. That is how you will be learning more about our sources of history. All right. And museums can be of two types. They could be government museums or private museums. Okay. Now, these are some of the government or national museums in India. There is no need for us to remember all these names, but this just I'm giving it to you as an additional piece of information. So the museum at Allahabad, the museum at New Delhi, the Salar Jung Museum, the Victoria Memorial Museum, all these museums are the national museums of India. That is, they come directly under the government of India. And there are certain museums which are maintained by the Archaeological Surveys of India also. For example, if you go to a place of historical importance, there in that particular place you will see a small museum being made, which will show you information about that particular place only. Okay, so these are called as site museums. Along with that, there are many science museums also. So this was in short a kind of a knowledge for you, extra knowledge for you regarding museums in our country. Now children, let us come and talk about the oral sources of history also. So what are the oral sources of history? Oral sources of history are the accounts of the past which are spoken, okay, and which are passed down from one generation to another. Now the oral sources of history in the ancient times, they were just in the spoken format because there was no technology to store this speech. But slowly, as time passed, we will see that in modern history, oral sources also underwent a little bit of a change. Okay, so when you talk about oral sources of history, you have stories, you have narratives, you have anecdotes. Anecdotes are short stories. Jokes, you have folk songs, and see, you have two new things, that is radio recordings and popular music. So you can see a girl sitting and listening to the big recorder in her house. Okay, so these are the types of oral sources of history. Now you have these traditional songs which people sing. Okay, in the Maharashtrian, you can say background, if you see, you have these povadas, and you have these kind of religious songs, spiritual songs which people sing. What are povadas? Povadas are a kind of genre of Marathi poetry. Okay, it is a kind of a ballad which is sung in Marathi and which came into, you can say, existence from the late 17th century onwards. And in the povadas, they used to praise kings, especially Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. All right, and you will also see that OVs, and this is a very famous kind of an OV, Janabainchi OV. And you will see, if you can read Marathi, of course we all can read Marathi, Jatyavaril Paramparik OV. Now Jata is a kind of a homemade grinder on which the ladies used to grind cereals or pulses or grain. Okay, so while grinding the grain, the songs that they used to sing, so these are a kind of folk songs called as the OVs. Okay, so this was about the oral sources. Now we come to a new kind of source as far as modern history is concerned, and that is the audio visual sources of modern history. What are they? The very first important audio visual source is Doordarshan. Now, children, we watch very less Doordarshan nowadays because we have so many different channels to watch. But Doordarshan, when you say and when you see this particular logo, there is something which is very unique about this logo, and that is the signature tune. That is the music that used to be played along with this particular logo. Okay, now I will give you a small glimpse of what that particular music was. All right, so let's listen to a short clipping of that particular music so you will understand what is the meaning of a, or what is the significance of this. Most of you from this generation might never have heard this because most of you do not listen to or see Doordarshan. Okay, so please enjoy this and listen to this, and I'm sure many of your parents will be able to identify with this. Okay, children, so I played it just for a few seconds, but next time whenever you have get an opportunity to listen to this or see this particular channel, please listen to this music also, because it is a very very important part of our audiovisual source of history. Okay, after this, now let's see the next part. On the Doordarshan, people could watch various kind of documentary films, they could watch plays, they could watch serials. Okay, along with this, now then we had the television progressing, and we had these satellite channels also getting available for us, not only Doordarshan but many other channels also, many international channels like the BBC World, we had the CNN, MTV, Nickelodeon, Animal Planet. All these channels also we could start enjoying while sitting in the comfort of our homes. All right, and then we had the internet, and after the internet was invented, you can say, nothing remained the same. The whole world became very very close to each other. Then we had the Film and Television Institute of India also, which is also finds a mention as far as sources of modern history are concerned. Okay, children, so that was all for today. Hope you enjoyed this lesson and also you got many inputs about the sources of history, that is, sources of modern history. And now, next time when we meet, we will do another lesson in social studies. Till then, goodbye and thank you so much.